What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. My name is Danny, and I will be your solo host for today's episode. That wasn't the plan, but when life hands you limes or lemons, you just squeeze the heck out of them and make something delicious. Don't add extra sugar in there. We like that to be whole food ingredients. All right, I'm already babbling, y'all. This is the third time I've tried to record this episode. The first time was supposed to be with Ian and Scott. We were talking about Ian's triathlon training and then got different perspectives from Scott and Ian on evaluations, assessments of new training clients and new patients, and then how that translates into programs and then how you progress programming. But something went wrong with my tech, and the episode that we recorded wouldn't produce or finalize or finish. Something went wrong with it and it doesn't work. So what I'm going to do today, because this episode airs tomorrow, you'll be listening to this on the 19th of September, is give you an overview of our digital nutrition course that we have been putting together diligently over the last couple of weeks. So if you have been listening and you are interested, this should give you a little bit more insight into what that entails. Now, I have been a licensed nutrition coach for, since 2016, 2017, right around there. So it's been 7-8 years, and I started off doing online coaching where I would do phone calls or Zoom calls or FaceTime calls and do email check-ins with clients. When I moved to Shreveport or Bossier City area in 2017, I started shifting some of that online work into in-person coaching. And most of my nutrition coaching sessions were still either held online or in coffee shops. Y'all know, I love me some coffee. But I was starting to overdose a little bit with the amount of client sessions I would have on a daily basis. So.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, totally. Reese trains here all the time. So try this guy. The only problem, he's a level 2, so he's a little bit more advanced. Yeah. Just keep your backpack, don't lose it. So basically.
Could y'all please go out of this office?
What?
This is the third time I've tried to record this.
Oh, I didn't know
that. Okay, where were we? That's just the kind of day this has been. And that's a typical Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sometimes you're just go, and you have only that 20-minute time slot for whatever walks in the door. And if you don't hit it, you don't hit it, and you just got to move on. Anyway, where was I? Nutrition coaching was doing a lot of in-person sessions, overdosing on coffee. And then I ended up in 2020 coming over here to the training ground with Ian and did not do any more nutrition coaching sessions for a while, probably after August, like in other locations, kind of fully came over here. And eventually ended up having a couple clients that saw so much success with training nutrition that they became nutrition coaches for the gym as well. So we do have a team of 3 nutrition coaches here, and you've probably heard their podcast episodes before, Mary Peoples and Clay Foster. They're amazing, and they both have really cool, unique stories of their transformation and why they love doing what they do. Which brings us to, we have found that with a lot of our clients, y'all are busy. My gosh, y'all are busy, and in a different way sometimes than us being here for 10 to 12 hours a day, back to back to back with different client sessions. You're running kids around, you have a full-time job, or you own your own business, and y'all just have no more time left in the day. And we found that the concern with nutrition coaching was people didn't have time every week or the same day every week. And so the consistency of being able to meet in person with a nutrition coach was holding some people back. That just wasn't there with where their lifestyle was. So we had this idea to take our nutrition coaching and put it into a digital online format. So I'm going to give you an overview of where this is going to start, and hopefully the plan is that it will flourish and it will change over time depending on what you, the listener, whoever is taking the course, needs. I want to tailor this to you. So the lessons that we've created over the years are based on what the clients need, what the clients want to know, how we can help the clients to see progress. So we've really fine-tuned what everybody's looking for and how to still make it unique, because there's a lot of education that everyone who is interested in nutrition coaching needs to understand so that they can then go out into the world and make their own educated nutrition choices when they're not here working one-on-one with a coach. I frequently hear, Danny, just tell me what to eat. Just tell me what to eat. So this is one of my ways of giving you the knowledge, of telling you how to do what we would do for you here in person with individualized one-on-one nutrition coaching. So that being said, I guess I'll give you a walk down. My goodness, Danny, those words just aren't coming today. So I've got 8 main lessons. Typically for our in-person clients, depending on the person and their availability, we'll go through about 12 to 16 different lessons. So I've condensed those into about 8 main lessons because I want to make this an 8-week course. There will be a capability for the person taking the course to continue working on their nutrition after the 8 weeks, but 8 weeks worth of nutrition coaching lessons that can be applied to that person's lifestyle. There will be a section of tech tutorial videos and audio files that focus on MyFitnessPal and keeping a nutrition diary and explaining how those aspects work. We like to use MyFitnessPal, but it is not the only nutrition coaching or diet tracking app out there. I'm not against any other app, but I do like that for our clients, MyFitnessPal has allowed us to be friends on the app, and therefore we can go in and look at somebody's diary and what they're tracking at any point in time. So if a client has questions about what they've tracked or how they've tracked something or whatever, it's easy for them to send us a text and say, hey, can you go look at this? Or every week when we do our email check-in that goes along with the lesson or whatnot, we go in, we look at their last week of tracking, we get an average of their calories, their proteins, their carbs, their fats, their fiber, their sugar, and we can assess what we're walking into before that session starts. That way we can really give some positive feedback, some corrective feedback, some objective feedback of, hey, this is what I see. These are the goals we had set. I want you to then think about what to bring to this session. Why did this go well and why didn't this go well? Like, what changes did you make after you left here the last week so that we could move forward in the process of you making that body composition change, that weight loss or fat loss change, that energy increase change, things like that. So these are the questions that we'll be pushing out in this course so that y'all can start thinking about it in the same way that we would think about it on our end. So the 8 different lessons that we're going to have in this course to start off with: introduction to macronutrients. That's almost always the first lesson that we go through with people. Then we'll go introduction to protein, introduction to carbohydrates, introduction to fiber, introduction to fats, introduction to salt, sugar, and sugar alternatives, introduction to processed food versus ultra processed food, and then last but not least, introduction to energy balance and the dieting life cycle. So those are our 8 basic lessons. There will be a community aspect to this. It will be held on a tech site called Kajabi. I've never used Kajabi, but I've taken several online courses through that site. So that's what we're going to use for ours. I've not used the community aspect through any of the courses, so I don't quite know how that's going to look yet, but there will be a community support aspect. That way, if you do have questions or concerns, then you'll be able to access one of the coaches. So either myself or Mary or Clay. That way you can get some feedback. And then we can take your questions into account of what we didn't put into this course first time around, and then we can update it as we go. So that's the basic overview. Our intention is to start the beta testing group in the next couple of weeks. So if you do want to be a part of that, head over to TTG NWLA.com. There's going to be a pop-up on that first page. Click the button and enter in your first name and your email address, and that is going to add you to our email list. The only place, other than telling you about it on this podcast and just sharing that it's a thing on Instagram, the only place you can join the course or the beta testing group, rather, is going to be through our email list. So make sure you're on it. You don't have to stay on it forever, but be on it for the next couple of weeks so that you can get information about it. And that's kind of all there is to it right now. So again, aiming for that course to start in a couple of weeks. It is going to be at a discounted price for our beta testing group, because in return for a discounted price, you would be able to give us feedback on what you like, what you don't like, what makes sense, what you want to see more of, all that kind of stuff. So it will be a lot more communication back and forth between people in the beta testing group and myself, compared, I think, to a normal launch group. So it'll just be a little bit different. So if you're interested, make sure you go there. I'll put the link in the description below. You can also email us info@ttgnwla.com, or you can email me personally, danny@thedietdoc.com. I'm super excited. I actually bought this course on how to create digital courses about 3 years ago and just didn't feel like I was able to make the time to go through this course and create our own until the last couple of months. So it's been a long time in the making. And the lessons we put together over years have finally been put into, PowerPoint slideshows. And I have, I'm talking through them. And when we were doing what would you call it, course validation with some of our current clients who've been interested in nutrition but maybe never became clients, or it's been a long time since they were clients and they want to refresh, they brought to my attention how cool it would be that they would have the ability to go back and re-listen to a lesson or re-watch it on their own time when it was convenient for them. And that was one thing I just hadn't thought about with the in-person approaches. You get that one-on-one in person, but you don't get a replay. So having the ability to have this replay of this explanation and conversation, and the examples are right there in front of you, you don't have to remember it all. That just, when this client said that to me, I was like, oh my God, that's invaluable. That is so cool. And so I'm really, really excited to bring that to the table. I spent almost all last week taking the transcripts and the worksheets that we've created for our clients and making them into slideshow presentations. This week is dedicated to recording the audio that goes with those PowerPoint slides. So it's all coming together. I've got to figure out how to get Kajabi up and running this weekend and figure out how to accept payments through it and whatnot. So, still a few hurdles to go over, but that is the basic overview of what to expect in the digital nutrition course. If you have questions about it, again, feel free to email us or send us a DM on Instagram. I'm usually in there a couple times throughout the week, but if it takes me a day or so to get back to you, just bear with me. But that's it. That's all for today. Hopefully we will get another recording with Ian and Scott for next week on the same topic that we recorded earlier today. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all. That's a wrap for now. Happy Monday. Hopefully y'all are having an awesome day and it's a great start to your week. Before I start rambling again, we're going to wrap this up. Bye for now. I'll talk to you in the next episode. And go join the email list.